What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming. I'm going to be commentating a 2v2 game for you today. Yes, it is Thursday, time for some team games. How exciting. This matchup is going to be a double Terran versus a Terran and Zerg. Over here on our Terran Zerg team, we've got Flanowar as the blue Terran player, and the Zerg player here, Scroobius, as the red Zerg. Yes, double Terran team, Trayis here as the teal Terran, and the other Terran here is the purple Terran, Hoban. So yes, Terran versus Terran Zerg, and we are actually on one of the new 2v2 maps. I've played this a couple of times. It's an interesting map. It's actually, it has a much different feel from all the other ones that I'm used to playing, which was previously on the ladder system. I played most of my 2v2 games with my buddy Tempest, and yeah, it's just something new and certainly interesting. I definitely love the fact that they continuously add new maps to the ladder game because, well, it makes things, like I said, more interesting. So back over here, we can see both Trayis and Hoban will be walling off. Obviously, this is going to be quite necessary given the fact that they've got a Zerg opponent. The threat of Speedlings very, very real, and obviously you want to make sure you have that wall off in place. With that in mind, we do have destructible rocks here in the back of the base with this very, very large and very wide ramp, so certainly something you do want to keep an eye on because it can be quite threatening indeed. And obviously over here, same situation, wide ramp, and then we've got that normal sized ramp for a 2v2 game. This is pretty much the standard size, especially when you have a shared base in any of these 2v2 maps. So we do want to keep an eye here. As you can notice in this particular map, there is an extra base right inside of the main, and this allows you to come out with a quick expand if one of the two teammates decide to do so. Also behind the bases, there are some destructible rocks that lead to a high yield expansion right in the middle. We do have a few Zelnaga towers. A very interesting engagement point too, especially depending on spawn positions. This can certainly be a very interesting place with all the choke points and being really inaccessible if you're up here. I mean, setting up siege tanks right here, especially if an attack path is looking to be in this direction, can be very, very solid indeed, and you actually have to go through that even to just get to those destructible rocks. So just as an example, lots of interesting options on this map. Now, taking a look here, it looks like Flanowar will be opening up with that quick tech lab there. Besides that, everything's looking pretty standard. I'm guessing no Reaper, so no, he will be coming out with some quick upgrades instead with that tech lab. We'll expect that combat shield and or stim pack right off the bat. Scroobius here, extractor just popping right now, starting off clearly on one hatch play, then likely moving into his expansion. Just going with the safer of the two openings, just in case the double Terran team decides to push early. Going with this opening gives him that option to come out with some early game Zerglings, and actually won't be getting metabolic boost because we do see this Roach Warren coming down, so at the very least holding off on metabolic boost for a little while. It's going to allow him to push out with some roaches. A couple Speedlings moving around the inside of the base. Do want to check to see if that SCV scout is still lingering around inside of the main. Back over here for the double Terran team, we can see a tech lab coming down on Trayis, also coming down with another Rax over here. And what is the other Terran player doing? Looks like we've got a factory coming on through, so he was teching out pretty hard. He actually has a second refinery relatively early on, finally getting a third SCV there on that refinery. Let's keep an eye onto what happens after that factory. But yes, bio heavy over here for Trayis, our teal player, and looks like, yes, starport as well as a tech lab. So we got a few options here. We could see something like Infernal Pre-Night or Hellion drop, or maybe he might be going for Banshees. All sorts of options, most certainly. Scroobius now coming out with that expansion. Still no metabolic boost coming on through. He does have 6 roaches coming out right now. I'm actually going to guess that we might be seeing some aggression here. And just a frame of reference, this is Masters level replay. All the team commentaries that I will be doing will be of Masters and or Pro players. So we will be seeing a 2 racks here from Flanowar coming out with that quick stim pack, and also heavy roach push over here from Scroobius as well. So we'll be interested to see when and if they decide to push out. Early aggressive pushes, certainly very strong in team games. We do have double reactor coming out over here for Trayis, so we'll be sitting marine heavy. Does have that stim pack finally getting researched right now, and it looks like, yes, cloak banshees coming over here for Hoban. So Hoban will be opening up with those cloak banshees. Can certainly be very effective. Will really come down to his micro and how prepared the Terran and Zerg team is to deal with Cloak. Obviously, we do have scans here from Flanowar, but we will need that Zerg player to come out with something, either a layer for an Overseer or dropping some Spore Crawlers. Otherwise, dealing with those Cloak Banshees could certainly be quite frustrating. But again, it looks like we will be seeing a mounted attack over here from Scroobius and Flanowar, so it's also going to depend on how much damage they are able to do. A few more roaches coming through. Scan gets dropped, does spot that Roach Warren actually pinging down there, so we just realized that the Roach Warren is there and that they might be getting pushed sometime soon. That's basically, spotting that Roach Warren kind of tips you off. They do have, actually no, they do not have the tower. Looks like Scroobius does have control of the tower with those Zerglings. Very nice indeed. No kills on the Zerglings yet. They were used actually just for scouting purposes. Flanowar will be moving back. Took a couple shots over here, I'm assuming, from some of these Marines. I'm guessing he just tried to walk right up there. Let's see what they have for scouting vision. No, actually not even getting up to the ramp there. So, wow, very interesting. But he did spot, I mean, he obviously took some damage, so he saw something. I'm assuming that there were some Marines on the low ground whenever this happened. We've got a couple upgrades. Actually, the stim pack just about finished right now for Trayis, and the stim pack is finished at the moment. Also, combat shield coming on through for Flanowar, but it looks like they're pushing now, not waiting for that combat shield. They're trying to get this timing push out there. It looks like around the 8-minute mark. Really like to see, you know, especially in 2 games, you see a lot of like 5 and 6 minute pushes. 8-minute push can certainly be strong, but at that point, a lot of times your opponents, whatever they're going for, they'll have it up and running. For example, the Cloak Banshees right now are up for Hoban. They're moving out for a counterattack. At the same time, they're being pushed, and it looks like the Double Terran team is now aware of that. He's going to mobilize. Yes, there we do have those Marines and Marauders mobilizing now. Those Roaches do very, very well against those Marines. They do need to be a little bit wary because it's fairly Marauder heavy. And here we go, Stimpack going down for both Terran players right now, but it looks like the bio of Trayis is just tearing through, target firing down those Roaches and then working on those Marines. At the same time, here Hoban moves out with that counterattack, so successfully defending themselves, moving out with that counterattack. And let's keep an eye on these Banshees already with so many kills, and unfortunately Scroobius not returning or not pulling back with those drones, just sitting there. There we go, finally pulling away. Took him long enough, took pretty heavy losses there. Take a look at the unit loss tab. Yes, unfortunately Scroobius is quite a bit behind and not having anything to deal with these Cloak Banshees. His layer just finished, so he can get an Overseer, but it looks like that's not happening right now. And interestingly enough, he's just sitting here dealing with these Cloak Banshees. Really nothing he knew. We do have a couple missile turrets coming down. Finally, we are seeing Flanowar mobilized to deal with this, and we'll be moving down with some of these Marines, stimming up a few of them, trying to move in and target fire. We get that missile turret just about finished. Will we get a couple of shots off? And there we go. That one Banshee gets taken out. This Banshee, though, still alive with 12 kills, and it looks like he will be moving back in to do a little bit more damage. So back over here inside of the Double Terran player's base, again, successfully defended. Looks like they haven't had to deal with much other harassment besides what they initially fended off. Banshee now sitting with the 13 kills. We do have a couple Marines over here for Flanowar trying to chase down that Banshee. There's the scan. There we go. Stimpack Marines trying to catch up. It looks like that Banshee will make it away no problem, and he will be heading across the map right now. And does he get killed as Zergling? Why is he not killing the Zergling? He's just sitting there within vision of the Zergling, deciding not to kill it. I don't know what that guy was doing. There we go, finally taking out the Zergling. There is kill number 15. The cloak just about to wear off right now. Probably wants to deactivate that and go back either to get repaired or have it sit idle and move in for a later date. But very, very nice for that Double Terran team. Again, they did a great job at defending themselves, and then immediately after that Banshee attack just tore through what Scroobius had. In all honesty, though, I'm going to lay the blame on Scroobius there simply because he let his drones just sit there and get worked on. Had he just pulled away right away and kind of gone to the safety of Flanowar's Marines, then he maybe wouldn't have taken so many losses, because right now looks like he's doing pretty much nothing by macroing up. Doesn't really have a lot. It's sitting on 8 Roaches and 1 Zergling, only 27 drones as well, given the heavy losses that he did take. So in a really tough spot right now, just trying to macro up again, trying to get his drone count back up. And this is a problem because we do have the Double Terran team mobilizing right now. Hoban sitting very tank heavy. Trayis sitting with a lot of bio there. Marines and Marauders. We do have also a few medevacs from Hoban. We'll be healing up the bulk of the bio army for Trayis. So very nice, trying to synchronize basically what you got, what a team is getting. Certainly good play indeed. We've got those Roaches trying to push forward, but walking into the siege line, and we do have medevacs to gain a vision of the high ground, and that's actually going to provide a great benefit here because he will be shelling out the expansion, dropping the scan. Interestingly enough, because that was very unnecessary, given the fact that these Banshees, that these medevacs were giving vision of the high ground. But either way, it looks like they are doing a lot of damage. They pretty much worked through most of the army here for the Terran Zerg team, and they are just about to walk up in the main. At the same time, we've got a couple Marines pushing on down, dropping the depot. They will be moving up, and looks like we've got a few free Overlord kills here as well, so Scroobius will be very behind. Not going to get supply block, though. He was sitting on a ton of extra Overlords and not quite enough units there, given the fact that he lost so many Roaches. And actually, Flanowar just calling the good game, realizing it is over. Looks like a Double Terran team did win. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed this commentary. Yes, it is Thursdays. We will be doing team game commentaries on Thursdays. If you guys are Masters level and you have 2v2, 3v3, or 4v4 Masters team game replays, go ahead and send those to me at force@forcestrategygaming.com, and you may see your game commented here on Thursdays. As always guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.